Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome everyone to We Are Tottenham TV. Pretty much pumped up for Tottenham versus Manchester United. I hope everybody that's watching is well, and we have an elusive worldwide panel with us today. We have Mr. Brian Daigle. How are you, Brian?
I am very, very good, thank you, and delighted, excuse me, to be on my first pump up of the season and spend the afternoon with you guys and everyone in the chat.
Also, from the same part of the world, we have Mr. Bobby K. How are you, Mr. Bobby K?
I'm well, fantastic. It's game day, baby. The sun is shining. I get to hang out with three of my favorite people in the YouTube community and all you beautiful people in the chat. and it's TGIF. Well, at least according to Chang, but we'll get into that.
And we also have the lovely Chang, who's making his first appearance on We Are Tottenham TV. How are you, Chang? How's life?
I couldn't be more excited and over to moon to be making my We Are Tottenham TV debut, especially on this glorious Friday morning, as Mr. Bobby Kang here has already mentioned. I mean, what an honor and just a privilege it is to be sharing my debut with you, my FA, Senor Garcia, as well as the illustrious Mr. Daegu above me, and last but not least, Mr. Bobby Kang here to my left. And
this side.
this side, yes,
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, no, the other side.
Oh, the other side. Okay, all right. So
Yeah,
it
there you
switched
go.
it again.
Okay.
There we go. All right. But yeah, I cannot be more excited for this pre-match pump up, because for me, this is just one in a whole load of finals that Spurs have to play this festive month before the end of the calendar year 2024. And I really cannot wait to get this pre-match pump up underway, Sino Garcia. And without further ado, it's back to you, FA.
Thank you. So, yep. So
Oh,
it's a
sorry.
quarter
If I could just say quickly, I just want to say Chang always preaches about how wonderful we are and everything. Got to say, the feeling is mutual, buddy. You're a wonderful addition. I'm so glad you were able to join us today, because you always got great energy. You're a massive Spurs fan, and it's nice that we've kind of got every point of the world covered right now, right? So from east to west, here we are to pump up the Spurs.
Don't want to spoil it, but later on in the show, Chang will give us the actual score for tonight's game, because Chang is already early Friday morning. So Chang will let us all know what the score is at the end of the show. But
And the goal
tonight,
forwards.
as we're here, tonight it's a pump up for Tottenham versus Man United, quarter-final Carabao Cup. And what I'll ask you guys is that, we've played Man United already in the league this season, played them a couple of times last year. We've scored a fair few goals against them. The matches that we've played in the league, is it going to be any correlation in the match we play tonight, or is there going to be any differences?
Who's going first?
Whoever wants to.
Go on, Bobby. Go on, Bobby.
It's better I go first, because you actually are a lot more knowledgeable and will bring points where I just bring my chocolate waffle time, baby. No, doesn't mean squat. At the end of the day, we've been pretty much inconsistent. You know, we look back at our big win against a massive team with the 4-1 against City, and we see what we did after that. So I don't think we can look at any past results or anything right now. We're a bit of a roller coaster team right now, and all we can do is concentrate on what we have in front of us, and that is today. I look at us against them directly, and you look at, I think it's the last 5 games, we've won 2, drawn 2, and lost only 1 to them, which is massive for us considering you look at the history that we've had against that club. So obviously, like always, diluted optimism, and nothing but another win today.
Brian?
So we played Manchester. We've played the teams in Manchester 3 times. We're 9-1 up on aggregate. It's a cup game under the lights at home with a chance to get into the semi-final. And I will say, cup games under the lights at Tottenham is an incredible, incredible place to be, an incredible thing to be a part of in the ground and worldwide to watch. And the cups mean everything to me this season. So I am properly pumped up. And I think both the crowd and the players are going to be as well.
And Chang?
Wow. Where do I even pick up from where Mr. Daegu and Mr. Bobby Kang left off? What can I say? It's you could call this a cup final for us. This is to be, the way how we're going to kick off 2025 with a big win to usher us into the semifinals of the League Cup. Not that I'm counting my chickens anytime yet, but yeah, I mean, if you look at our history, not even our history, our current form, for that matter, anything can happen. We could be, flying high days before, prior to this, and suddenly at home, in front of our home faithful, we might come a cropper. Although I hope that doesn't come to pass in a few hours' time. All the previous matches that have come before us are way back there, and we have this quarterfinal to look forward to. And yes, I do agree that we have the slight advantage of previous results against the Manchester teams in weeks and months past. But in this one-off game, anything goes. I wouldn't be surprised really if this is actually a very closely and tightly fought encounter with neither team wanting to give an inch, really just measuring up to each other and not really going for the jugular. But knowing Big Ange, and I really do hope that this does come to pass, he will play a very attacking open game and really take the game to the opposition today under the lights at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And yeah, I'm expecting a very feisty encounter. And let's hope we go all out for the win, because we shouldn't even be looking too far ahead for the home game against Liverpool over the weekend in the league. But come on, you Spurs. I'm all behind Big Ange and the team. I really do hope we make it to the semi-finals. Fingers crossed. And without further ado, it's back to you, FA.
Don't give away the score, because you know the score already, so don't give that away. You must keep that one with you. Yeah. So, I mean, it's about Tottenham tonight for me, but Manchester United have got new manager. He's changing formations around. He's looking at all these players. He doesn't know who he's got at the moment. He's looking at all these players. So, would this be the right time to play Manchester United in your eyes, chaps?
Listen, what I will say, Edis, my man Edis just brought it up. Apparently, Rashford and De Ligt haven't arrived with the Manchester United team bus, which is massive. I mean, obviously, Rashford was out for the Manchester City game. So you look at this.
He was omitted today as well, Brian. I didn't know about De Ligt, but I know he was.
Yeah. So you look at it. Amorim, since he's come in, he's never had a settled lineup, has he? He's literally depending on training, it looks like, and he's really trying to establish who are his right guys. And what I would say is Manchester City away, the way they did, I mean, winning a derby day at any point is great, but win it in that manner, they will be pumped up and ready. I was praying for a City defeat, but they will be pumped up. But De Ligt is a huge miss for them, because I think he's a fantastic centre-back. But you like you said, Jose, your question was, is it the right time to play United? I don't know. I think we're going to be stronger, but you just never know, because they're all playing for. If people like Rashford are being omitted, and by what we're hearing told to go look for other clubs, whether that's true or not, everyone is playing for their role, for their career, for their Manchester United history. Is that a big thing for them to go, right, we need to be on top of our game all the time? We will find out, but it's not going to be a good time to play Tottenham at home after a 5-0 win. That's for damn sure. And those fans doing what they do. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's more our Man U. Is it a good time to play a Man U? I would ask Man U, is it a good time to play Tottenham?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Daigle.
Well, you got to add to that,
Brian.
Bobby. Bobby's on it.
But Brian, so man, I'm not used to this super positive, Brian.
It's the cup, mate.
It's refreshing, man. I love it. I liking this Daigle. It's dynamic Daigle today, man. He's brought the pump for the pump. Bob, definitely. I think Brian's spot on. I think they should be afraid of us. We're coming off a big win. Yes, they squeaked by City 2-1. They got 2 late goals. But like you said already, Jose, you guys have already touched on it. One of the main factors, I think, will be the 12th man, which is us at home. If we need to do what other teams that we fear when we go away in Europe and stuff like that, we're worried about going to these stadiums because they're so loud and rowdy and hostile. Why are we not doing that? We've got 63,000 fans in there that can scare the living daylights out of anybody. I still remember a few years back when we did it to a certain team up the road there, and I still remember watching all those videos and everything. I think this is another day that the fans will really step up. I know there's a lot of electricity in the air. Other fans that I've spoke to about this are really hyped up. A lot of nervous energy as well, but regardless, energy. Let's convert that into positive energy. Let's make sure that we're shelling it through the players and we're inspiring them out there. Almiron is, like you guys said, he's trying to figure out who his best 11 is. There's a lot of chopping and changing going on over there. So hopefully Diallo, I believe, is the only one that looks like he's been standing up and showing something while he's come in under this guy. So other than that, the other 10 are really not a concern. We should be able to push him off.
Okay. Right time, wrong time?
This might be, you could say it's the right time to play them, given the way we are just only, finding our form now with that resounding 5-0 win against Southampton. But it also could be the wrong time to be playing them because you never know what you get with Spurs. One weekend we are, high flying, and the following weekend we could be crashing down. So it's 50-50, but given the occasion, I really do hope the lads come through, really, for their sakes, for our sakes, for Big Angel's sakes. Even, I know might not be something nice to be talking about, but even for Daniel Levy and Enix's sake, if we are to move together as a club in search of silverware, much needed silverware, I think that should be the main goal, the ultimatum for this football club, if we still are a football club. I would say this about this occasion, this quarterfinals. Whoever wants it more is going to be winning it, and we saw that with United. We saw that when they played City, they were mere minutes away from losing, and they somehow were able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. So to say that this is a good time or the right time to be playing them, I think might be underestimating them. The same way you could say that City underestimated us when Pep Guardiola signed that contract extension of his, and not only did they lose heavily, they also failed to score against us. So you really couldn't tell which way this fixture is going to go. Although I'm sure all of us Spurs fans will be hoping for us to get this much needed morale boosting, qualification to the semi-finals. So I really do hope that lads are up for it. I really, really do, because if there ever was a better time to showcase consistency above all else, this would be the best time to do it. During the festive fixture, everyone's pumped up, everyone's joyous. You could even call it let bygones be bygones. Whatever came before, whatever misgivings, whatever shortcomings, Big Ange, the coaching staff, even our players for that matter, I couldn't care less if it's Dragoshin or Archie Gray in centre back or Fraser Foster in goal. Whatever's come before has gone. This is a time to stand up and be counted for, each and every single one of us, as fans especially, those who will be in the stadium, being our 12 men, cheering the lads on. I am so excited for kickoff. I can't wait to even look at the starting lineups for both teams. So yeah, this is going to be a quarterfinal to be remembered, Jose. With that, back to you, FA.
People are asking about the lineups. I think the lineups come out an hour and a quarter before a Premier League match. I don't think they're released till an hour before on a cup match. So if that's being the case, we're going to have to wait another 11 minutes because there's no lineups at the moment. So just to let everyone know.
No.
Brian touched upon something earlier where he said you could look at it on the other side of the coin, whereby it might be the wrong time to come and play Tottenham because of our last match where we went out and we won 5-0. Interestingly, we won 5-0. We'd won that in the first half, and then we made changes and we played within ourselves in the second half, so to speak.
Yep.
So we're probably saving ourselves and saving legs because it's not only tonight. I mean, tonight's important to us. Yes, of course it is. But there's more games to come every 3 days, all the way from now to the end of January. So it was good that we saved our legs. Are there any players that you think, guys, that will make the team tonight, will start tonight, that played against Southampton? Will there be wholesale changes? Is he going to put his strongest lineup out tonight?
I don't think he's got many options, so it's going to be pretty much predominantly what we saw against Southampton. When you look at it now, Udoji's even a maybe. Benny's out for sure, right? Odebert, Richie, our back line is pretty much decimated. No goalie. Unfortunately, options he doesn't have them.
You've got Basuma to come back from suspension.
Okay, so one midfielder.
Yeah.
Or Werner. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about them too. I honestly think I don't think he's going to make too many massive changes, Jose, again, because I think it's going to come down to him relying on the guys that should be riding a high right now. We had a great game. Although, again, yes, okay, people are going to say, oh, that's a relegation team, blah, blah, blah. I don't care who we play. I care about how we play and what the result is. And that day, we played great, and the result was beautiful. So let's just ride that wave, baby. Let's just keep going.
What can I listen, Bobby? First of all, no goalkeeper. What are you talking about? We got England's number one, mate. We got England's number one at the moment, who has been. Listen, I
Paul
criticise.
Robinson's back.
But no, 4-star Fraser has been incredible. Fair
He
play
has.
to him. He has been
100%, yeah.
absolutely magnificent since he's come back. For me, he's been man of the match in every single game, which goes to show something. But do you know what? Going into this, Jose, as you were saying, I think the second half, a lot of people against Southampton were upset we didn't go and punish them or go for the jugular or go hit them for 9 like Leicester did a few years ago. I was delighted what we did. I think it was exactly what you said. I think we conserved energy because we're down to the bare bones. Biggest ones for me are fullbacks. Do you rest a Porro who is extremely exhausted and out of form, or do you rest a Destiny because Spence will start? It's which one gets the rest. But I think the most important thing for me is today. I don't know how other people feel, but the cups to me this season are a lot more achievable and a lot more important for me than the league position. So I would go as strong as humanly possible today from the start. I would really go as strong as possible and then deal with the repercussions against Liverpool, against Forest and Wolves. And then obviously the transfer window opens. But I think fullbacks are the biggest concern. I think otherwise, I think this team is pretty much picking itself.
Yeah. Chang?
Wow. Where do I even follow up from that? I mean, this is a cup final in itself, and nothing less than the best from Big Ange and our players will do. And I would give this game my top priority, just to see us through to the next round. Hopefully, we come away with back-to-back victories at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I know that's a long shot. I'm not even going to look towards the Liverpool fixture because my full focus and attention is on our kickoff in roughly just over an hour's time from now. Which, having said that, I think nothing less than the best from our players and the best possible lineup that Big Ange can field, given our very limited and somewhat decimated squad has been reduced to. Having said that, I think if Porro is available, Porro might be the better alternative at right back for this occasion. I know Jet Spence had an away debut, a full debut too, for the senior squad in the league against Southampton. But this might be that one occasion where you might need that little bit more experience, maybe even that little more prowess in front of goal, especially when you are bombing forward down that right hand flank. That might be the tipping point, especially if Kulu is there on the right as well with him. So for me, maybe, just maybe, Porro gets the hits of Spence, but knowing Big Ange, he might even give Spence his second start in succession. So anything goes in this match. But having said that, I would like to just like to reach out to the fans. If you're in the stadium, if you're watching from home, regardless of who turns up, regardless of who takes to the pitch, please do give them your full support. I couldn't care less if it's Werner or Brennan Johnson, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, you name it. Whoever takes to the pitch, give them your full backing, because so long as they put on this jersey and they wear this crest, this emblem, this logo on their bosom, we would support this club till we die. So yeah, I'm expecting big things from the team today, but more importantly, they have to turn up. They have to turn up for themselves, for the fans, for the club, and I really do hope that we come away with a result. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very feisty encounter, and the chances are going to be at a premium, which means that if Solanke is there, if Timo Werner is playing, if Son is going to be playing the full 90, they have to be at the top of their game. We cannot take things for granted. We cannot take things lightly. Even if, let's say, we do find ourselves leading, we cannot afford to sit back and soak up pressure, because we've seen what United can do, especially that late comeback against City. So nothing can be taken for granted, and I really do hope we take the match to the opposition the whole stretch of the way. Back to you, FA.
I think there's some more people in the chat asking about the lineups. I think the lineups for the cup, as I explained a bit earlier, if you weren't here, I think they might come out an hour before the game rather than an hour and a quarter when it's the Premiership. So I've got a feeling that they're not going to be out for another 3 or 4 minutes. As soon as they're out, we will put them on screen.
Yeah.
So tonight, with listening to what Ain said in his press conference, there's a feeling for me, anyway, that I think Spence will start at left back rather than the doggy. But then he's got a call to make. He's got a Basuma back from suspension. Does he make a change with Basuma? And if he does so, who are you going to change in the midfield for Basuma?
So what we thinking? We started Southampton with what? Sarr, Maddison,
And Bergvall.
and Bergvall.
Bergvall did the 6th role.
Yeah, I don't think I change it. I
Kind of agree with
personally,
Brian. They did well. Yeah.
I don't think I change it. I think Bergvall was doing well. I think after he had that collision with the post where he was pushed, still don't understand how that wasn't a red card. In all honesty, I think he's growing in stature. Obviously, needs more minutes to prove it and settle in. And they did very well. I mean, before we go first, Southampton were remarkably poor. Remarkably poor. I didn't realise just how poor they were until obviously we saw that first half performance. But Basuma hasn't been good for a while. Came back after his ban, apologised, put in a few good performances, but can sometimes be more trouble on the pitch. And his performances sometimes recently have been lacklustre. I would give it to the. I would give Berg. I would stick with the same midfield personally.
So the same 3, Brian, yeah? Bergvall, Sarr, Maddison.
Yeah, that's what I would pick if I was running the ship today, which obviously I'm not. But yeah, I would definitely keep my faith with those 3.
I was going to say, who says he's not running the ship? I think he is. Bobby, same 3, or you make the change with Biss coming back?
Honestly, I think from what we've seen of Biz, normally when he's sat out, he normally tends to have a better performance when he comes back. It's after a few games that he's come back, his stupidity kind of sets in. So it's like he kind of goes off, resets, and cleans the slate, and then comes back and fills it up with stupid stuff again. So this is right now he's at a clean slate opportunity. I think the occasion is large. I'm hoping the fans will be hostile. I'm hoping they're going to be in full voice. So I think Basuma is just a little bit better suited to handle the pressure. Watch their pinch. He's better at holding the ball and everything like that. If he doesn't do it, then get his ass off, and you know what Bergvall can do now. I'd like to see the kid get a start, but I think Ange will be smart about it and play his cards a little bit tighter. So I think he's going to go with Biz just to kind of secure things there.
And leave out who? Leave out Bergvall, you're saying?
Bergvall goes out, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Chan,
I can see Kulu and Matters coming into the middle too there, and maybe SARS gets put there and Basuma gets left out and Bergvall are out. We'll see in a few minutes.
Yeah, and what
lineups out? Some people are saying.
Let me have a look. Bring it back up. There we go. Is it out?
Yeah, 3 or 4 people have said no. Yeah, lineups out. Okay, we're bringing it up, guys. We're bringing it up. Give Jose a break. His first time hosting us, man.
He's doing a great job. A great job.
Not just a good-looking face.
Are out. Let me see what they are, because I've not looked.
While he does that, folks, I just looked. We only have 86 likes. That's very disappointing. What is it about the 4 of us that you don't like? I can understand you not liking one of us, but you should like the other 3. So for that reason, just hit the like button. It makes us look a little bit better in front of Ben and Sim. And then they let us do these things for some crazy reason. But everybody knows you like Dago. And how could you not like this guy? How could you not?
He's made 2 changes then, looking at the lineup.
Let's hear it.
So is it on screen?
No, you got to do the share screen. Come on, Jose. There's a reason I didn't do this. You're in charge.
I presented it. Right, why is it not coming up? I've got it presented. Is it up now?
Nope.
No, those are just pictures of your family.
Okay.
Read it out for us, Jose. Read it out.
Okay, so it's Forster, Pedro Porro, Dragusin, Gray.
I'll put it in the chat. Porro, Radu,
Dragusin,
Gray, Spence,
Yep.
Sa,
Okay.
Biss,
Okay.
Madders, Kulu, Solanke, and Son.
So everything I was saying about Basuma, I'd start Basuma. He's going to be great. He's a real powerhouse. He's going to absolutely
The
take
clean
this
slate
game.
thing, right? The clean slate
Oh
thing.
my
Use it,
God.
use it, use it. It's a good one.
The interesting thing is, if I look at our bench, a doggy hasn't made the bench, and we
Okay.
have two goalkeepers on the bench. So the bench today is Austin and Whiteman, Reguilon, Dorrington, Hardy, Bergval, Oluwaseyi, Johnson, Lancashire. No Werner either hasn't made the
I
bench.
think that's two goalkeepers might be an inspired move from Ange, because sometimes they bring players on to take penalties. He might have the brainwave of putting three goalkeepers in goal to save them. We're doing it that way. He's found a loophole. He'll just put all three goalkeepers.
I love how you just went from Forrester is England's #1. He's the greatest goalkeeper ever. That's it. He's the next Black Spider. Oh, he's fantastic. But we need 2 more goalies in net with him if we're going to get.
No, I will say no. If it went to penalty, believe me, I will say when I was last season when I was in England, I was at the Fulham game when it went to penalties. And Fraser Forster was not the best at penalties, but I'm saying you put all three keepers in, how are you going to get past them if it's penalties? I found a loophole.
And
there you go.
The Manchester United team to play us, they have Bayindir in goal. They're playing a back three of Lindelof, Yoro, and Martinez.
Oh, no Maguire.
The four across midfield for them are Dallo, Ericsson, Ugarte, and Mazraoui. And their front three tonight are Anthony, Fernandez, and Hoyland. And their substitutes benches Onana, Evans, Maguire, Malacia, Casemiro, Mainu, Diallo, Garnacho, and Xerxes. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm looking at the lineups and I'm saying, what have Tottenham got to fear with that Man United lineup?
It's like they've left their better lineup on the bench. Sorry, bro.
No, go on. You carry on, buddy. You carry on.
No. That's it. That's all I was going to say.
No, I was going to say, I look forward to seeing Christian Eriksen hit the first man and free kicks hitting the wall. Listen, you can't. United always find, cup games, like we said, lineups don't really matter. Obviously, I say lineups, they do matter. I'm talking about form, goes out the window. Unfortunately, as much as people don't like Fernandez as a player, he's one of those you love to hate, isn't it? But everyone in United feel strongly about him. He can always be a problem. He can always be a problem. I'm delighted to hear Anthony's on the pitch because he's useless, in my opinion. He's really been one of the biggest flops. Surprise! I thought it was going to be Spence Wright, Destiny left. So with Destiny being out, that's obviously solved that equation. But yeah, Man U, they've got a couple of players out there. But I must admit, when you were reading, I don't know who the goalkeeper is.
Bayindir is their reserve.
I didn't know who a couple of their players are, but I think you can see the difference with their strength in depth on the bench as opposed to ours, which is injury ravaged.
Yeah, so I thought from when Ange made his press conference yesterday, and he talked about a doggy not having trained and not being right, but they were going to assess him straight away. I thought to myself, Spence will start tonight, which he is. But the fact that a doggy's out of the team, and I don't know why at the moment, but a doggy's not in the squad at all. But neither is Werner. Werner hasn't made the squad either.
Werner, I don't know about you, doggy. They said is injured.
Yeah, because he said yesterday that all the players that had came out of the Southampton game, he said the only person that had come out of that game that wasn't lively was a doggy. And then he also said, and we've got Biss coming back in. And all the other players that he mentioned, your Mikey Moores and all that, saying, yeah, they're probably going to be back on the grass next week. I think Mikey Moore and Ben Davis back on the grass next week. But for tonight, it's just a surprise. I mean, I don't know why at the moment, but a doggy has not made the squad at all, and neither is Werner.
Jose, can you just very quickly read our bench back? Just the
Yes.
bench.
So our bench is Austin,
Okay.
Whiteman,
Yep.
Reguilon, Dorrington,
Okay.
Hardy, Bergval, Oluwaseyi, Johnson, Lancashire.
Okay.
So Tottenham have gone in strong. The reason why I asked you guys, I mean, my personal opinion is when we beat Man United this season at their ground, I looked at their midfield and I thought we'll win this game in midfield because we'll overrun their midfield. Their midfield isn't mobile, agile enough, and would not cause us problems. When we beat Man United last year at home, we beat them 2-0, and they played with a midfield three, I think, last year of Casemiro, Fernandes, and Mason Mount. We beat them 2-0 at White Lane last year in the league. Again, I looked at their midfield and I thought, oh my God, we should walk their midfield. And we did in both games. But then a lot of teams walk Man United's midfield. I'm looking at the midfield tonight. As soon as I saw the lineup, I'm just thinking to myself, Tottenham have gone really strong tonight. Really strong. And Man United haven't. And I'm looking at their midfield and I'm thinking to myself, Ericsson and Nagate in the hub of their midfield.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's why. Look, oh, sorry.
Bobby, you go. Go
I
on,
was
Bobby.
just
You
gonna
go.
say, looking at that basically just says that we have to start strong. Basically, put them away because they have the power, they have the weapons on the bench that can come on and impact the game. Where we kind of are, we have a weak bench. So who on there can really impact the game? I think they have the stronger players if we're going to line them up head to head. So we got to put this away very early. The crowd's got to be involved. Got to scare the crap out of them the second they get off that bus. Make them fear coming to London at all. Make them want to hop back in that team bus, turn around and go right back to Manchester, man. That's all we can hope for. Start strong, punch them away right away, knock them on their asses, and leave Almiron scratching his head, wondering, what am I going to do?
What I was just going to add to that is obviously we've spoken about the squads and the team and the lineup, but do you know what? Whether people love him or hate him, we have to give Ange Postecoglou, and I'm on the more love side than hate, or definitely more love than hate. I want him to succeed. Fair play to him because he is actually in all these cup competitions this season. He has gone full strength, or with a lot of first teamers. He has said, you know what, these cups are important. I mean, obviously you can say this game, the injuries and the domestic season that's about to kick in over this festive period is demanding, but all cup games he has taken very, very seriously. Whether you agree with the tactics, whether you agree with the style of play, that's another thing. We've had it with managers before where this cup especially has been used as a right, I'm going to rotate, I'm going to give rest. We all know how important a trophy is to Spurs fans any season, and we want this drought to end. We want this famine to stop. And the fact that he has gone full strength again, where he could have put these kids in to begin with, or given a few of them, fair play to Ange. Fair play to Ange. When it comes to the style of play, that's all obviously to be up for debate after the game and during the game when the guys are doing the watch-alongs and we're all watching it. But fair play to Ange for going for as strong as he could.
Yep, agreed. Sorry, before I bring you in, Chan, can I just say we've got a member badge from David Shear, been a member for 15 months here at We Are Tottenham TV, saying, "Come on, you Spurs." And we also have a super chat from Tommy B.
There you go, Tommy.
Says, more faith in Forster now that he's had a run of games. Last time he faced the Pens, he hadn't seen
Good point.
grass.
It's a very good point from Tommy.
Yeah, very great.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, Tommy, is that people will remember the game last season against Fulham in the Cup when it went to penalties, and he seemed to be really uneasy getting down to the penalties that were taken, albeit the penalties were good ones. He weren't going to save them, but people felt that he kept falling like a sack of spuds. When Vicario got injured, I did turn around and say on the shows that I do that I felt that it was a bit wrong to count Forster out because Forster's been a professional for 20 years. Yeah. He's played in Europeans. He's played for his national side. He's played in big games, and he's never let teams down. And I think from what I've said, it's borne out to be right that I was right in what I said, because he's now come out, and I think a lot of people will say that you could probably say that he was our man of the match in 4 out of 5 games that he's played. and that just shows the magnitude of the fella. Doesn't complain, turns up knowing that he's not going to be the first team goalkeeper, and it's going to be Big Vic. Comes, trains, helps out all the other goalkeepers, does what he needs. He's a model professional, and he's come in and he's done really, really well for the side, Tommy. Sorry, Chan, going back to you. When we were talking about talking about Ange. Sorry, Brian was talking about Ange. What are your thoughts about Ange and the cup games? Same as your thoughts,
Well,
Brian?
yeah, well, so Big Ange has to take our cup games very, very seriously, especially if he's trying to get back on side with the fans that have been calling for his head, fans that feel that his style of football, or rather, even his tactics, his strategy, isn't the right way that we should be going forward as a club, especially where ambitions and winning silverware are concerned. But for me, this is a big opportunity now for Big Ange to really shut them up and show them why he has won silverware everywhere he's coached in his second season. That's not to say that he will win, but I'm sure each and every single one of us here are really keeping our fingers crossed that he does. Even though if it's not this season, somewhere down the line, if he is still with us beyond this season. Having said that, though, I will say this about his team selection today, especially leaving Werner out and having two goalkeepers, despite our very wafer thin squad. I think that actually sends out a message, not only to us fans, but to all the players that we have in our quorum, that the moment you are not performing, the moment you're not pulling up your socks and really, making a name for yourself, then there is absolutely no room for you, not even on the subs bench. And if Werner is fully fit, and this is purely a professional selection by Big Ange, in which he is sidelining players that he feels aren't really living up to their names, not really earning their keep, as we say it, then yes, this is the right move for him to have made today. And I wouldn't be surprised come Sunday against Liverpool if we don't see Werner again in quick successive competitive matches. So yes, this actually sends out the right and positive message to all the players that we have. And I'm actually expecting big things really from our bench. Say what you want about our players on the bench. They may be too young, too inexperienced, too green, not enough, of steel in them to make it count where it matters. I think when when competitive matches, knockout competitive games for that matter, are concerned, anything can happen. So if Bergval or Langshire, Dorrington, whoever who comes off the bench, if they are required to make a big difference, they are the difference maker when they do come on. If we do find ourselves in need of them, I am very confident that they will come up and put on a shift. But more importantly, to the players who are starting, there is absolutely no room for error. Because if you think that that United lineup is weak, if you think for a moment that we are going to just roll them over, I think we'll be in for a big surprise. And I do expect the players to come up flying from the traps the moment that kickoff whistle is blown. And yeah, let's just get that stadium rocking. If you are listening from the stands, from the seats at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, let's get that venue bouncing. And I really cannot wait for kickoff in 15 minutes time. Having said that, back to you, FA.
A few people in the chat have asked the question, and it depends what part of the world that you live in. But if you live in the UK, the match is definitely on Sky Sports tonight. As for the rest of the world, I don't know where it's showing because I don't know all the providers throughout the world. But if you're in the UK, it's definitely on Sky Sports tonight. I don't know whether that helps you or not, but I've seen a lot of people ask that in the chat. So moving on from that, then I think it's about that time. Then everything that we've talked about, everything that we know, we've seen the lineups now. We've talked about the previous game. We've talked about what our thoughts are. But the all important part is gentlemen, and everyone in the chat, it's your time to interact now, and we'll see what you say. What's the score going to be tonight? Who wants to go first? Chan, you're going last because
Chang's last. He knows the score.
It's Friday for Chang already.
Friday for Chang. It's ridiculous. Yeah. He's cheating. And not once has the guy sent over winning lottery tickets, but he's still a nice guy. That's all that matters. Well, let's see here. We win today, and we got to look at facing our neighbors up the street that we don't like, Newcastle or Liverpool. All easy roads to the final, the way I look at it, because those are the kinds of teams that we easily dispatch. Big wins for both teams over the weekend that they're coming off us. Both teams on a high. I think that United, again, like I said earlier, they're a little bit disjointed with Rashford out and him chopping and changing and still picking out his favorite 11. Us just decimated by injuries. So to me, that just simply says, 12th man, step up, bring the noise. 3-1 to the Spurs. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Brian has instilled a new faith in me. I'm going to go 2-0 to the Spurs. Clean sheet for Mr. Forster.
If I'm putting faith into you, mate, you need to stop listening to me. Bloody hell.
You inspired me today, buddy. I'm pumped up. I'm dangled up today, baby. Let's go.
Just before coming to you, sorry, can I just say, Charlie Val, super chat.
Yeah, Charlie.
If USA, the game should be on Paramount Plus. Thank you very much, Charlie. And then you've got another super chat from Alex. Says Anthony's in the starting 11 for United. Congratulations on a 3-2 win. And that's coming from a gooner. Thank you very much, Alex. Sorry, Brian, to cut in.
Yeah, no, I'm going to mention the score, and then I'll touch a little bit on what Bobby said as well. I said what I thought when I was on Ben Kaufman's show earlier. Cameron's put it in there. I'm going 2-1 Spurs. And the semi-final draw is to be done straight after, and I'm hoping we get a semi-final against the Filth. For two reasons. One, I would feel very, very sorry for all the Spurs fans on in January or February having to make a midweek trip either to Liverpool or to Newcastle on a Wednesday or Tuesday night, whatever it may be. But also, there's nothing more I'd love to see Arsenal in the final when you think about it. But then you look at the realisation of it, and if you could beat anyone in the final, you would say that lot down the road. And if you said the worst team to lose to in a final, it would be that lot down the road. And I would never want to... I'd rather play him in a semi and get to the final or not, rather than play him in a semi and lose, because then it's like, thank God me and Bobby are in Canada, because I'd have to turn my phone off and lock myself in my bedroom. But yeah, going back to it, I'm going for a 2-1 winner. I don't know why. I've got a feeling it's going to be a late winner. I've got a feeling there's going to be a late winner. But yeah, 2-1 Spurs, I'm going.
Oh, sorry, Brian. I got to ask, who scored the late winner?
Oh, mate. Solanke. Let's do it. He needs to get in the goals.
I would just say Forster.
He needs to get in the goals. I'm going to say Dominic Solanke to get the winner. Please God. If the Spurs gods are going to listen to me once, please can today be that day.
So we've got a 2-1 from Brian. Bobby, did you say 2-0? 2-0 for Bobby, right. Let me just catch up with some people in the chat and what the scores that they're going for, because people started flying with their scores. We have...
Diluted optimism time, people. If you're here as a Spurs fan, you should only be predicting a win.
William Webb, it says 4-2 Spurs win tonight.
I like you, William.
David Shear is going 3-0 to Spurs tonight.
Go on, Cobber.
Ed is 4-1 to Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Eddie's well done.
We also have... I saw some more down here.
I think as well, Jose, just quickly, if you believe in the gods and everything, I think the last time we played them in this tournament, at home, the video's doing the round. We won 3-0 with a David Ginola shot from outside the box. I don't know if that's the last time we actually played them in this tournament, but I believe it may have been the last one at home, and we beat them 3-0. So let's hope for a repeat of that. But let's hope the football gods are with us.
Oh, they're coming in now. The fans are on board.
RS22 TV says 2-1 to Spurs. Come on, the lads. What else have we got down here? Cameron says it's 2-1 to Spurs. Rich says 4-1 to United. The Screwface Rambler says 6-4 to Spurs.
I'll take it.
Ryman Son says 3-2 to United. Sigus just says 4-2.
2 Spurs,
Adrada
obviously. That's good.
says 2-1 United as a Spurs fan. Graham Miller says 3-2. Matizia says 3-2. Henokli says 3-2. Mr. Pete Syme says 4-2. Ronnie says 5-1.
Yes.
Singularity says 3-2. Sobers says 4-0 to Spurs. Lord Rodney says 1 or 2-0 to United.
Oh,
Terry Wright
Rodney.
says 2-1 to Spurs. Just a harmless potatoes, 2-1 to United. Boo. Maria says 3-1 to Spurs. EZ says 4-1 to Spurs, 2 from Solanke, 1 from Madders and Decky. Kevin Hillman says it's going to be 2-2 and go to penalties. The notorious PIG says 3-0 to Spurs and ready to score a hat-trick. David Shear's gone 3-0 again. Hamdan's gone 3-0. Jenny W says 4-1 to Spurs. We've got... Oh, God, there's loads coming in. People are telling me it's on CBS Sports and it's on beIN Sports as well. So these people are telling you what channels they're on. Eugene
Sorry, 1
says...
second, Jose. 1 second before you go to Eugene. I know Brian's got a chip, so let's...
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I've got to go back to work and watch the game on mute, although I'm trying to make sure I don't need to be in the training room
Can't
for
say
too
that
long.
out loud.
Listen, it is what it is. I'm in training. Hopefully they'll say, here's some exercises.
The boss may
Take
watch
your
it.
headset off. Just do your exercises. And I will do those exercises because my work is vital. But I want to hear the Spurs crowd. I want to hear the Spurs fans. Everyone watching the game, have a great one. Everyone give the team support as well as support for other things that are going on in that ground. But the team needs support tonight. I will say, Jose, great hosting. Bobby and Chang, always a pleasure spending time with you both. Everyone in the chat, have a great day. Speak to you later. Can't you
Have a great day, buddy, man.
Thank you, Brian. Take care, mate. Thank you.
Look at that. That's commitment. Taking an hour out of his workday, giving us his own lunch break. Just for you, the fans. And all you got to do is hit the like button for the guy. That's it.
Yeah,
we're not even bugging you for super chat money. We just want you to do something that's free. Yeah, an Indian guy giving you something free. That's crazy.
Angeball saying, I predicted 3-1 early in the week. Now I've seen the team sheet. I'm tempted to go 4-1, but I'm going to stick with 3-1 for a Spurs win. It is 3-1. Some of these people have already done it, and they're repeating again. Chris 4-0. Just that shy guy says 3-2 to Spurs. Kaylee Davis says 3-3 and a win on penalties. Killian Kenny's going 2-1. Thomas is going 1-0. Jaden's going 3-1. The perfect match says 2-1. Spence and Cooley, or even our own Kate is on a 2-1. Terry Bishop 7-2 to Spurs. Nashon Goya 4-2 to Spurs. Johnny Hill says 2-1 to United. Eddie says, if I get my prediction right, will you give me a shout out? I've shouted you out already, Eddie, and I hope yours is right because you said 4-1.
Eddie, I'll give you a shout out right now. Great prediction.
Timothy Whitaker 3-1 to Spurs. Son, Cooley, Madders, and a red card for United on 65 minutes. Hayden Chandler says 2-0 to Spurs. Groucho says 2-1. Rich Frith, who's been a member for 29 months, says, what's up, guys? 3-1 Spurs. Levy out.
Big up, Rich.
And then we've got, who else have we got here? We've got Flowwall says 4-0 Spurs. Evan Byrne says 2-2 and we win on penalties. Offshore Mike says 5-4. God, there's loads. You got Janet ID says 3-2 to Spurs. FM90 Virtual TV says 5-1. William Webb says 5-1. It's nice to keep the fives going. Have we got any more down here? Eric Morfoot says 5-1 Coys as well. Random YouTuber commentator says 3 or 4-1. Hot Hakan says 4-2 to Spurs. Porn says 2-0. Conrad Maloney says 3-1. Nick Shadowbolt says 3-1. Dave O says 4-1. I've caught up with everyone in the chat. Val Taylor says 5-0. Chan, I'm going to come back to you. Hit the like button. If we're winning the game tonight, you guys have got to hit that like button to show that we're winning the game tonight. Cham, I'm going to go last because I haven't got the crystal ball. You have, but I just wanted to hear what's your score prediction for tonight.
We got an echo. Someone got a stream on.
Is it my echo? I hope it's not my echo. Let me just counter check on this.
No, you're okay now.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
We're good. Yeah, it's
I
off.
was
Yeah.
about to begin. We are going to come out 2-1 winners at full time. I think we are going to be leading by 2-0 at halftime. United are going to score one somewhere in the hour mark to make it a very nail-biting last half an hour. But we will come out 2-1 winners in this fixture. It's going to be Solanke and Son, our SOS forwards. Solanke and Son, as I'm calling them now, to the end of the season. SOS. So we are going to be coming out 2-1 winners against United. But I wouldn't be overly confident on us getting a clean sheet. I know we got a clean sheet against Southampton. This game, however, because it is a cup knockout match and it is going to be under the lights, and more importantly, it's a midweek game. I don't think we've ever kept a clean sheet this entire season in midweek, regardless if it's the League Cup or in Europa.
So today's the day.
Well, no better time to do it, Mr. Bobby. So yeah, I mean, fingers crossed, a second consecutive clean sheet for Foster, Dragushin, and Archie Gray would do them the world of a good when it comes to the build-up, or rather the momentum leading into Sunday against Liverpool. But yeah, I think to even think of a clean sheet right now would be secondary to the win, which I think is paramount for Big Ange and also our squad. So, having said that, I still think that we will just win it by the odd goal margin. So, I think 2-1 shouldn't be beyond the realms of impossibility. But having said that as well, I really do hope that we get the early goal. I really do hope for our sakes, because the longer the game drags out goalless, especially we go into the half goalless, then that second half, especially with half of those players with their minds on Liverpool on Sunday, that might actually be creeping in as the game wears out. But I think that first goal by either side, not just for Spurs, is going to be all important in this game, because even if that one goal is to be the difference maker between United and Spurs, you can expect either team to just want to defend that single goal lead and just try and see the match out. And that's what I'm actually hoping will not come to pass. So, having said that, my final prediction for this match is going to be a 2-1 win to Spurs, Solanke and Son, and it's back to you, FA.
Angela, I've just seen your comment in the chat. If you did put a score in and I didn't read it out, can you put it in again and I'll read it out, mate? Sorry, I didn't see it.
He said 5-0 Spurs.
You saw it?
Angelo said 5-0 Spurs. No, I'm making
Yeah.
that up on his behalf, though, because I know how positive Angelo is. I know Angelo's sitting on his couch right now, waiting for this game to kick off. He's waiting for us to shut up so he can switch over to Ben and Sim, get the watch along going, and watch that first goal happen. That's all he's sitting there. He's like, that's why he's upset. Because Angelo's so excited. He's like, how dare you miss my comment? I was predicting this win before you asked for predictions.
So what I was going to say to people is that I haven't seen the video that people alluded to that's doing the rounds. I'm going basically solely on looking at the lineups, and I have the feeling that I had when I saw previous lineups when we played Man United, where I think their midfield, they just haven't got one. I believe that's to be the case tonight, even though they're playing a different system. I don't believe that Eriksen and Ugarte will be able to control our midfield. We're at home. We've got the crowd. So for me, I can only see one scoreline tonight, and that's Tottenham 3, Manchester United 0. That's my prediction for tonight. 3-0 victory.
So who's right, Chang? Because you know the score. Oh, we'll find out, I guess.
It's going to be 3 goals. I can tell you now. I can tell you now, Mr. Bobby Kang, it's going to be 3 goals. So it's a toss-up between a 2-1 and a 3-0. I believe that at 2-0, the next goal would be the decider of this prediction between me and Senor Garcia, our predictions. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I would love nothing more. I would really love nothing more than a clean sheet. So my head is going to say 3-0 and side with Senor Garcia, but my heart is still firmly set on the 2-1. So I think as long as we win, I mean, who cares? Who cares what the final score is going to be like? I just want to see us win and progress through the semi-finals. That's all I have to say on that matter, Mr. Bobby Kang.
Hell yeah.
And for people watching, please go over and support Bobby and sub to him at the Three Spurs Boy. Bobby does a lot for the community and brings a lot of fun to our lives.
Yeah, this is where we have a laugh, though. If you want football content, you go to these guys, especially that guy there, especially this guy here. What a wealth of knowledge.
Go to Bobby, support Bobby, and for anybody that's interested, you can support me at Eltel Cocker if you like, and if you don't like, then you don't. But I wish you, every single one of you, a Merry Christmas. And the last bits I've got to say is Soldier Boy has said 3-2 to Spurs. We got Sands with a 2-0, Mark Heron with a 3-1, Ben Baldwin with a 1-0, 4-2.
They're pumped. They're pumped, Jose. You did it, buddy. You got him
Luke
pumped.
Thomas on a 4-0.
Woo!
Someone here saying 4-2.
Yes.
Tony Plee is 2-1 to Spurs, Sonin Solanke.
I'll take it.
And Imperial Sandwich says it's going to be 3-2 to Spurs, Solanke, Matters and Son. And then you've got, what's he saying? Love it, Jose. I was tempted to go for 3-0, but didn't want to be greedy. Listen, guys, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Please tune back in 15 minutes' time, or just under 15 minutes' time, for Ben and Sim, who'll be running the watch along here on We Are Tottenham TV. And from us,
well, I want to do one thing before we took off, Jose, if that's okay, because it just doesn't seem right without our boy here. So I just wanted to say, on behalf of a certain somebody at the perfect match, our man Jimbo, we are the mighty Spurs. Nobody can take us. On any given day, we will win. So today's just going to be another victory. We're going to smash United, send them back to Old Trafford, crying. Their tears are going to flood that broken-ass stadium of theirs. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. In the big hands I trust. Have a great evening, everyone, and let's watch Tottenham win. Thank you very much. Good night.